Many years ago, in a small village called Ibadan, lived a beautiful young woman named Abike. She was known throughout the village for her kindness and wisdom, as well as her beauty, which was said to be like the first light of dawn. Abike's parents had raised her with strong values, teaching her the importance of hard work, integrity, and compassion. As Abike grew older, many suitors came to her father, seeking her hand in marriage. Among them was a charming young man named Kunle. With his smooth words and captivating smile, Kunle quickly won the favor of Abike's parents. Despite his apparent charm, there were whispers in the village about Kunle's irresponsible nature and his tendency to avoid hard work as a man who ought to provide for his family. Abike, however, believed in giving people a chance and was drawn to Kunle's charisma and promises of a bright future. Kunle may have his flaws, Abike thought, but with love and support, I believe he can change. And so, with her heart full of hope, Abike married Kunle. The wedding was a grand affair with singing, dancing, and the joyful clamor of the village celebrating their union. Abike felt as though she was stepping into a bright future, filled with love and happiness. For a while, Abike's marriage seemed to be everything she had dreamed of. However, as time passed, Kunle's true nature began to surface. He preferred to spend his days in leisure, lounging under the shade of the great baobab tree, rather than working in the fields or hunting to provide for his family. Abike's hopes that Kunle would change started to fade as she found herself shouldering more and more of the household responsibilities. Despite the challenges, Abike's spirits were lifted with the birth of her two twin sons, Lare and Lano. This brought joy and laughter into her life, and she vowed to provide them with the best she could, even if it meant working harder herself. As the years went by, Kunle's irresponsibility became more pronounced. He squandered what little money they had on frivolous pursuits, leaving Abike to manage the household alone. Abike took on various serious tasks such as working in the fields, working in a construction site, weaving baskets, and selling goods at the market. Her hands grew weak and her back ached, but she never wavered in her determination to give her sons a better hope. Abike knew that education was the key to breaking the circle of poverty and ensuring a brighter future for Lanre and Lano. Despite the difficulties she faced, she managed to save enough money to send her sons to school. Each morning, she would wake up before dawn to prepare food for the day, then walk her sons to the schoolhouse, which was several miles away. I must give my sons the best, so they can have a better life. The education I don't have access to, I must give my children. I don't mind what it will take me. I will work day and night for this. If they are in a better place, I know this suffering will be over, she would say to herself. Study hard, my sons, she would tell them. Education is the key to a better life. Lanre and Lano took their mother's words to heart. They were diligent students, always eager to learn and make their mother proud. Abike's tireless efforts did not go unnoticed by the villagers, who often marveled at her strength and determination. They would say among themselves, Abike is like a river that never runs dry. They would say, no matter how much she gives, she always has more to give. However, Kunle continued to be a source of disappointment. He would often disappear for days, returning only when he had run out of money or had no one else to turn to. Abike's love for him had long since turned to resignation, but she remained steadfast in her commitment to her children. Abike's days were filled with endless toil. Despite the grueling labor, she remained determined to support her sons, even as her health declined. One hot afternoon, Abike made her way to a nearby construction site, where she had secured a job fetching water for the workers. It was a physically demanding task, but the pay, though small, was vital for her son's survival. The construction site burst with activities. Workers moved about, carrying bricks and mixing cement, while supervisors backed orders. Abike, balancing a large, heavy water pot on her head, made her way back and forth between the well and the construction site. Her muscles aching with every step, Her frail body was pushed to its limit, but she endured, knowing she had no other choice, and she is doing it to give her sons the best. On this particular day, a group of men were gathered near the supply shed, engrossed in conversation. Among them was the site supervisor, a stern man named Bayo, who was known for his harsh treatment of the laborers. As Abike approached the site, she noticed the men glancing at her and whispering. She felt a pang of anxiety but continued her walk, hoping to avoid any confrontation. Suddenly, a loud shout broke at the construction site. Bayo's voice boomed across the yard. "Stop her! Thief!" he yelled, pointing directly at Abike. Confusion and fear washed over Abike as the men rushed toward her. She barely had time to react before they grabbed her roughly, pulling her to the ground. Her water pot shattered, spilling its contents onto the dusty earth. "I didn't steal anything," Abike cried out, struggling to free herself from the grip. Her voice trembled with desperation and disbelief. Bayo strode over, his face twisted with anger. He grabbed Abike by the arm and dragged her towards the supply shed. "Search her," he ordered. The men roughly searched Abike, turning out her pockets and inspecting her clothes. They found nothing. But Bayo was not satisfied. He grabbed a small shining object from the ground, a piece of metal that had fallen from the supply shed, and held it up accusingly. "This was found near where she was walking," Bayo declared. "She must have been trying to steal." Abike's eyes widened in horror. "I didn't steal anything. I don't even know what that is," she pleaded, tears streaming down her face. Her heart pounded in her chest as she realized the severity of the situation. Bayo ignored her pleas and signaled to the men. "Teach her a lesson," he said coldly. The men began to beat Abike, their fists and feet striking her with brutal force. She cried out in pain, her frail body unable to withstand the assault. The workers at the site watched in shock, but no one dared to intervene. "Please stop," Abike begged, her voice growing weaker with each blow. "I'm innocent." After what felt like an eternity, the beating finally stopped. Abike lay on the ground, bruised and bleeding, struggling to breathe. Bayo looked down at her with disdain. Word of the incident spread quickly through the village. When Abike didn't return home that evening, her sons grew concerned and set out to find her. They discovered her lying by the roadside, barely conscious and in excruciating pain. With shock and confusion, Larry ran hurriedly to meet his father in a palm wine gathering he has been since daybreak. "Daddy, Daddy, come! Mommy is dying. She's lying by the roadside helplessly. Please come and carry her," Larry exclaimed. "Oh yeah, get out of here now before I open my eyes, or else, if I stand up here, you won't like yourself. Can't you see I'm enjoying myself with my friends? Before I count three, get out!" Kunle yelled at Larry. His gathering of friends laughed. They continued drinking. Larry quickly reached out to some villagers who with great care carried Abike back to the village and tended to her wounds. The village healer, a kind woman named Mama Kemi, worked tirelessly to nurse Abike's back to health. The sight of Abike's battered body. As Abike lay recovering, Abike couldn't shake the trauma of the unjust accusation and the brutal beating. The physical pain was immense, but the emotional scars ran even deeper. She felt humiliated and helpless, her spirit crushed by the injustice she had suffered. But she made up her mind to be strong for her sons. "Oh, my sons, they have no one else but me. I will not be discouraged. I will continue to work hard so I can give them the best. Mama, don't worry. We will take care of you when we grow. We will buy you fine big house and fine car. Mama, don't cry," Larry and Lano would say to her. Years passed, and Larry and Lano grew into a fine young man. They excelled in their studies and eventually earned scholarships to a prestigious university in the city. Abike's heart swelled with pride as she watched her sons achieve what she had always dreamed for them. "Go forth and make your mark on the world," she told them. But never forget where you come from. Always remember the sacrifices that brought you here. Larry and Lano promised their mother that they would make her proud and take care of her once they were established. With tears in her eyes, Abike watched as her sons left for the city, hopeful that they would achieve great things. In the city, Larry and Lano thrived. They completed their studies with honors and quickly secured a high-paying job. Their hard work and determination paid off, and they soon amassed considerable wealth. However, as their fortunes grew, so did their distance from their mother. At first, Abike received letters and occasional visits from her sons, who would send money to help with her living expenses. But as time went on, the letters became less frequent and the visits stopped altogether. Abike's heart ached with longing for her sons, but she continued to work tirelessly to support herself, hoping that one day they will remember their promises. Abike's health began to decline as she grew older. The years of hard work had taken a toll on her body, and she found it increasingly difficult to perform the tasks that has once been her routine. Desperate, she decided to visit her sons in the city, hoping to remind them of their promises and seek their support. The journey to the city was long and stressful, but Abike's determination carried her through. When she finally arrived, she was overwhelmed by the sights and sounds of the bustling metropolis. She managed to find Larry and Lano's address, a grand apartment in a wealthy neighborhood. With trembling hands, Abike knocked on the door. When it opened, she was greeted not by her sons but by a housekeeper who looked at her with disdain. "I am Abike, the mother of Larry and Lano," she said. "I have come to see my sons." The housekeeper hesitated for a moment before ushering her inside. Abike's heart raced as she was led to a luxurious living room where her sons sat, engrossed in a conversation. They looked up in surprise when they saw her, but their expressions quickly turned into irritation. "Mother, what are you doing here?" Larry asked, a note of annoyance in his voice. "I came to see you, my sons," Abike replied, her voice trembling. "I am struggling. I need your help." Lano sighed and exchanged a glance with his brother. "Mother, we have our own lives now. We can't be expected to take care of you all the time. You need to learn to stand on your own." Abike's heart shattered at their words. She had sacrificed everything for her sons, only to be met with cold indifference. Tears streamed down her face as she realized that the bond she had cherished was no longer reciprocated. "Mama, please, you can't stay here. You have to go now. Go outside. We have some people coming in, and we can't introduce you to them as our mother. Go back to where you are coming from. How can you even come here uninvited?" Larry and Lano told their mother in annoyance. Dejected and heartbroken, Abike returned to her village. The villagers who had once marveled at her strength now whispered among themselves about the cruel fate that had befallen her. Abike retreated to her modest home, where she continued to ache out of living despite her failing health. Abike's life was hard, but she never gave up. After her son sent her away and stopped supporting her, she had to find ways to survive on her own. One of the jobs she took was carrying loads for people at the market. It was a tough job, but Abike needed the money to buy food and take care of herself. Every morning, Abike would walk to the busy markets where sellers and buyers filled the air with their shouts and laughter. She would stand at the entrance, waiting for customers who needed help, carrying their heavy bags and baskets. Most of the time, her customers were people who had bought many items and could not carry everything by themselves. "Can you help me carry these bags?" a woman asked one morning, pointing to a large pile of groceries. "Yes, of course," Abike replied with a smile. She lifted the heavy bags one by one and balanced them carefully. Her back ached and her arms felt like they were on fire, but she kept going. The market was crowded and she had to weave through the trunks of people to follow the woman to her car. Despite her hard work, many people at the market looked down on Abike. They saw her as just an old woman doing menial labor, not realizing the strength and resilience it took to do her job every day. "Look at her," one man sneered. "She should be resting at home, not working in the market." Another woman added, "She probably didn't take care of her family, and now she has to work here to survive." These words hurt Abike, but she did not let them show. She knew her truth and she carried her head high, even as she bent under the weight of the loads she carried. One particular busy day, Abike was hired by a wealthy merchant to carry several heavy sacks of rice and beans. The load was incredibly heavy, but Abike managed to lift it and start a slow walk to the merchant's car. As she struggled under the weight, she could feel the eyes of the market goers on her. "Why doesn't he hire a younger person to do that?" someone muttered. "She is going to hurt herself," another one added. "If she had uses her youthful age well, she won't be here doing this kind of job, yeye woman," another added. But no one offered to help. Abike continued, step by painful step, until she finally reached the car. She set the sacks down with a sign of relief, her body trembling from the effort. The merchant handed her a small coin. "Thank you," he said courteously, not even looking at her. "Thank you, sir," Abike replied quickly, pocketing the coin. It was little, but it would help buy some food for the next days. As she walked back to the market entrance, Abike's heart felt heavy. She remembered the days when she had hoped for a better life, for herself and for her sons. She had dreamed of a time when she wouldn't have to work so hard, a time when her sons would take care of her as she had taken care of them. But those dreams seemed far away now. Her reality was carrying heavy loads at old age for people who did not see her worth. Despite this, Abike found strength in her memories and the love she still had for her sons. She remembered their laughter when they were young and the pride she felt when they succeeded in their studies. Every day at the market was a test of her strength and will. She knew that people looked down on her, but she always knew that she had no choice but to keep working. She would continue to carry loads, no matter how heavy, because she was determined to survive. Watch out for part 2. This is just the beginning of the story. Before then, the moral lessons of this part 1 is Abike's relentless hard work and determination highlights the value of perseverance and dedication in the face of adversity. The story underscores the immense sacrifices parents often make for their children's future, emphasizing the importance of appreciating and honoring those sacrifices. Kunle's story shows that charm and charisma cannot replace the value of integrity and responsibility. Abike's commitment to her son's education illustrates how knowledge and learning can be powerful tools to break the circle of poverty. Stay tuned, guys. Subscribe and turn the notification bell. This is just the beginning of the story. Watch out for part 2.